Candidates have been throwing their hats into the ring ahead of Russia's upcoming presidential runoff. One of the world's richest men, Russian businessman Mikhail Prokhorov, has formally announced he's running in the election scheduled for next March. Now let's cross live to RT's Irina Galushko for more details on this. Irina, Mikhail Prokhorov has made his name in business and is now extending his political ambitions. Can you tell us a bit more about the man?
Well, of course, he's made a fortune and a name for himself in the precious metals industry, which propelled him into the #3 on the rich list, according to Forbes magazine. He's a man of, you can say, a jack of all trades. He's an avid skier, a lover of basketball. As a matter of fact, he owns the New Jersey Nets basketball team. He's also been involved in projects, for example, such as the hybrid car project called Yo Mobile, a project which he left, and now he's in politics. This is not his first foray into the sphere, however. He was a member of the Right Cause Party earlier this year. In fact, he was the leader of the party, but he left due to disagreements with other party members. At the time, though, however, Mikhail Prokhorov said that he has also left due to the pressure from the Kremlin. Now, in this upcoming election, Prokhorov will have to run against the 3 other candidates who have already said they're willing to run for the presidential elections. And that, of course, is Prime Minister Vladimir Putin and the head of the Fair Russia party. Now, Mikhail Prokhorov did not specify what exactly is going to be on his election campaign. He said everything that he has to say, he will say it in due time. So we have just to wait and see in order to find out what exactly Mikhail Prokhorov has in store.
All right, RT's Irina Galushko there live in central Moscow. Thank you. All right, for more on this story now, let's talk to Alexander Rahr, the director of the Russia-Eurasia Programme with the German Council on Foreign Relations. Thank you for coming on the programme today. So how does Mikhail Prokhorov's announcement today actually change the colour of the upcoming election?
Let's see how serious this announcement really is, because I doubt that Prokhorov will get enough followers. I mean, he needs a party, he needs a movement, he has the money to conduct a campaign, but he needs the people who will operate for him. But on one thing he is quite right. The liberals are looking for a united leader who would lead them in the presidential elections. I think they have a small chance now. Rather bigger than it had been before, to get a good result in the presidential elections. The question is only how can you unite these various liberal movements and parties after one leader, and who this one leader could be. Prokhorov thinks that he could be this leader, but I think Grigory Yavlinsky and maybe someone else would think that they are the better one. And then, of course, the situation will be like it is all the time, that the liberal politicians go to elections with many candidates and lose.
Now, as you were saying moments ago, he's a very wealthy man. He's a wealthy businessman. He's dabbled in politics before. He's supposed to be worth upwards of $18 billion. But he's heading up a party that he then quit a short while later. Do you think his ambitions should be taken seriously with this announcement here?
No, that's what I mean. I mean, he has the money to do all kinds of things in Russia, but money is not enough to win or even to make it well in the presidential elections. If he won't get a party behind him, I think he has no chance even to be rightly registered for this presidential election. So let's see what will follow this announcement.
But he certainly doesn't have the cleanest of records in the past. Do you think that the Liberal Dems could actually get behind him here?
No, I think that very few people will follow him if he will not do something extraordinary. For example, to go to a next meeting and talk to the people from the High Tribune. But this is unlikely that he will do, that he will go on the streets and try to get the necessary support from the ordinary people. He will stay as he is now. I don't think that he has any real chance to forge his candidacy against other rivals for this position, like Grigory Yavlinsky, who certainly wants to be named as the sole candidate of all liberal forces for the presidential elections in March next year.
Now, as you know, there have certainly been some protests in recent days about the recent parliamentary elections. We had thousands turning up in central Moscow claiming fraud, that some of the votes were rigged in the recent elections. Anything particular about the timing of Prokhorov's announcement coming on this Monday, after a weekend of unrest in Moscow?
This weekend of unrest has changed the political climate in Russia dramatically, because before these events, the future presidential elections of March next year were seen as very boring elections. For it seems clear that Vladimir Putin would win them without any serious rivals. One could see Zyuganov and Zhirinovsky and Miranov running against him, but all these politicians were losing elections every 4 years in the 2 decades before. So it looked like if this would be the easiest victory of Putin since 2000. But now it happens that it will not be that way, that Putin is risking to lose, like his Kremlin party had lost a lot of his former followers. And he will be very lucky if he wins the elections in the first round of the presidential elections. If he has to go to the second round, it will be for him a political catastrophe. It will change the situation in Russia. I nevertheless think that Putin will win the elections, but it will be very interesting for all the other contenders for the post of president to try to become number 2. That means to come into the second round and challenge Putin there, because after this challenge, the second...
if I may just jump in for a moment, as you're saying here, the political climate with this announcement from Prokhorov has shifted a bit. But what kind of people do you think he will actually appeal to the most, this multi-billionaire businessman?
He will appeal to the same liberals and middle-class people who are now on the streets. This is a liberal electorate. These young people who were born in Russia, not in the former Soviet Union, who have a different view on how the state should be run. I think they are still a minority in the country, but still they are winning force. They are becoming stronger.
All right, Alexander Rahr, Director of the Russia-Eurasia Programme at the German Council on Foreign Relations. Thank you.
Welcome.